Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 29 February 2024, leap day of leap year. Must be time for a knife sale on the TheApostleP channel, and a knife sale we shall have. First off, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I'm going to post them on the screen for you in just a moment. I will also print them in the description underneath this video. Also in the description right at the very top, you're going to see 3 links to previous videos on my channel. The first is entitled A Primer for Buyers. That one is a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms of the sale. So especially if you are a new viewer to this weekly sales event, give that video a look. It will explain in great detail how we do things and why every Thursday night. The second link pertains to you if you're interested in using this weekly sale to move along some of your collection. It's called FAQs for Consignors, and that explains how this all works from the consignor's perspective. Then the third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the TheApostleP Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. So in the all-important video description, you will see those 3 links. At the top, then the terms of the sale in the middle. At the bottom, the list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps on the left, pricing on the right. In the pricing column, you're generally going to see 2 numbers. The first of them is the price of your knife as shown in the video, and the price on the right is the price as sharpened by the TheApostleP Knife Service. There will be room for 4 knives to be sharpened next day this week, so the first 4 knives purchased to be sharpened will ship tomorrow, Friday, March the 1st, with all of the as shown inventory. If you fall outside the first 4, not to worry. Your knife will ship within 3 weeks if you want it sharpened and you don't make the first 4. If you see the word sold, all caps, exclamation point, in lieu of a price for any given item, that means what you're looking at has been bought and paid for by its new owner. So no need to send any inquiries or I'll take it messages regarding anything marked sold. I believe that's it for the housekeeping. Let's get the terms up on the screen for you, and we'll be right back with the sale. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up, just one leftover from last week, and this one comes to us from Prometheus Design Works. Comes in this nice zipper pouch. The knife inside is the Invictus SP. So this is the Spear Point Invictus from Prometheus. You'll notice that it is a titanium frame lock with a steel inserted lock interface, milled titanium right hand tip up clip, glow in the dark thumb studs, OD green G10 scale milled with the aesthetically pleasing and functional PDW set of flutes, thumb stud actuation, ball bearing pivot, gorgeous bead blasted spear point blade and CPM magna cut. Nice jimping on the spine, fine and grippy. Backspacer as well. There is your lock engagement. It's dead rock solid. Action is beautiful, as is the centering. Condition on this knife is going to be like new in box. These are out of stock. When they were last available, they had a web retail of $360. Arizona Custom Knives has one in sale, or did last week, at $445. We ran this one last week for $300, didn't sell, dropped it to $270, still here. Let's do $245 this week on the Invictus SP. $275 with my edge. Next day sharpening is available. Next up, we have a light from Reylight, and it is the Dawn triple LED light. There's some extra O-rings and stuff in the box. Here's the light in beautifully machined raw titanium. Really, really nice looking light. Got a pocket clip affixed with screws. 3 LED emitters. They are the Nichia 519 Alpha Takes an 18650 battery. Overall length is 4 5/16. I do not know the lumen output because you candle power guys probably know where to find it, but I don't. There are many, many programming options for this light. I do know that. They are available currently for a web retail of $155. This one is near mint to like new in box. Let's do $120 like it is. No need to sharpen. Haha. Next up, we have one from Olight. No box, but we do have this pretty functional belt sheath. The light is the Seeker 4. Black hard anodized aluminum barrel. 5 1/4 overall length. One big ol' emitter. 6 modes on this light. Maximum lumen output 4,600 lumens. 260 meter throw. It does have USB-C charging right there. No cord though. I don't have a box or a cord, but your standard USB-C will work. These have a web retail of $140 brand new, and I do see a nick right there. Other than that, pretty much like new. So yeah, $140 web retail. Let's do $75 on this one. Yeah. Really works well in this belt sheath. Holds it very securely and softly. Next up, it is time. We've got a watch with 2 straps. So this is a classic Seiko field watch, is it not? The SNK 809er, part of the Seiko 5 Sports series of watches. 7S26 automatic movement, so no hacking, no hand winding. How's it doing on time? I don't know. I think I forgot to set it properly. But it is a shake to wind, right? Automatic. You do have a display case back, I believe. Yes, you do. So a diminutive little guy by modern field watch standards. 37 millimeters in diameter, 43 lug to lug, lug width of 18 and a thickness of 10.5. Day and date, of course. Comes on this leather NATO, and then there will be a nylon NATO also included. They're discontinued right now, and new prices for these, if you can find them at, sort of secondary gray market websites, $120 to $150. This one, I think, is pretty much unmarked. Very near mint, no box, 2 straps. Let's do $85 on the Seiko SNK 809er. All right, you ready to get some knives? I am. So next up, we have one from Off-Grid Knives. The model is the Rhino. Nicely sunray milled black G10 scales. Pocket clip looks like deep carry. Tip up, ambidextrous. I got a flipper tab. Must be a flipper, and it is. The blade, D2, 3 9/16 inches in length. Kind of a tumbled PVD or DLC coating on this one. Handle is 4 3/4. It is a stainless steel liner lock, blackened liners. Locking up pretty early. And rock solid. Pivot is ball bearing. Works great. Nice detent. Centering on this one. Can we see it? Yeah. It looked perfect to me when I was setting up. So this knife is available new right now Produced now in 154 cm. Those are 89 bucks web retail. This one's D2, so a little less stainless, but a little higher performing steel. Let's do $50 like it is, shipped priority mail. $75 if you'd like it with my edge. That is the Off-Grid Knives Rhino. Next up, we have one from Civivi, from the design mind of Michael Gavitt, Gavco Knives. This is the C22006-3 Spiny Dogfish. Gavco design. Looks like a Mike knife, doesn't it? Kind of a modified Anso pattern on the OD Green G10 scales. Pocket clip deep carry right hand tip up. It is a stainless steel liner lock knife that opens via an elongated hole or a slot. Kind of a nightmare ground blade with a tumbled DLC finish. 14C28N is your steel blade length. 3 7/16. Handle is 4 3/8, so nice efficient blade to handle ratio. Lockup is pretty early. Ball bearing action is beautiful. Centering on this one, I wrote perfect. I'll stand by that. Condition is like new in the box. These are currently available for a web retail of 59 bucks. Let's go $40 shipped priority mail on this one, 65 if you'd like it with my edge. That's the Civivi Spiny Dogfish. Next up, the longest reach at the table tonight. Another one from Civivi. This is the C909D Brigand with the hand-rubbed copper handle. Yeah. So this will not be a lightweight knife. Sort of a hand-rubbed satin on the copper, and then sort of a, I don't know, like a black antique finish. Some beautiful like coin edge milling on the chamfers. Pocket clip deep carry tip up ambidextrous. Whoops, that was me. Detent's not that bad. Kind of a modified Warncliffe blade in 154 cm. Kind of a blast and a tumble going on, maybe a little acid. The 154 cm blade's 3.5 inches. The handle's 4 7/16. Lock engagement pretty early on the stainless steel liner lock. Solid. Nice forward finger choil. Centering on this one, I wrote perfect. Like new in box, except it looks like it might have had a clip swap. At one point there's a little rub in the copper. Where is it? Come on. Well, it's right there. It's very slight, guys. I think you can see it. Anyway. Discontinued and out of stock when they were available. The web retail was 80 bucks. They're gone. You can buy this one though. $50, 50, like it is. 75 with an ApostleP edge. Next day sharpening is available if you're one of the first 6. It's a Civivi Brigand in copper. Next up, this might be our only Wii knife tonight. The box says it is the 807B Vaquita, and it is a neck knife from Wii. Comes in a nice pancake style Kydex sheath. You can use the neck tether of your choice. Here's the knife. It's a little tiny kukri. How about that? S35 VN blade, 2-tone, satin flats and tumbled DLC everywhere else. Scales, removable, carbon fiber. So let's see. Yeah, it's a it's a 2.5 finger knife. The blade is 3 13/16 inches in length, so pretty long blade, and then the handle just 2 3/4. Stock thickness looks like about 1/8. We'll call this near mint to like new in box. They are discontinued and out of stock. When they were available, the web retail was $108. This one can be yours, shipped priority mail for, what did I say? $70. Like it is, 95 with my edge. The wee Vaquita neck knife. Next up, it is Kizer time. Looks like we got a little run of these. The first one is the V3569A1 October. So I guess you could call this murdered. Once that black linen micarta takes the oil from your hands, it'll turn more and more black. Pocket clip is deep carry tip up right hand only. Low profile little flipper. Nicely textured, flips great. Blade is blackened, CPM 20 CV. Blade length is 2 15/16. The handle 4 3/16. Stainless steel liner lock, locking up pretty doggone early, but rock solid. Forward finger choil works great in conjunction with that spine jimping, a nice long run. Blade centering on this one, I've got it at perfect. Conditions like new in the box. They are discontinued and out of stock, at least in this configuration. When they were last available, they were $129 web retail. Let's do $85 on this one. $115 if you'd like it with an ApostleP edge. That's the October from Kizer. Next up, more Kizer. This one is the V4538N1 Slicer. So this designed by a guy named Michael what is it? Come on. Galovich. Galovic. It's the Kizer Slicer. So nice, slightly crowned black G10 satin scales. Polished stainless steel deep carry pocket clip. It looks like it might be ambidextrous, but it's not. There's no pocket milled into the G10 to accept the the back of the clip. So it's right hand tip up deep carry. A mid backlock design. Thumb studs. And I think it's on bearings. It might be on phosphor bronze. And there's a half stop. Rock solid. Backlock. Lock up. Blade is N690. Takes a beautiful finish. 3 7/8 inches of blade. Not a short knife. 4 11/16 inches of handle. Rock solid lockup, nice free action, but you're of course interacting with that back spring. The centering is close, but I see it being to the bottom of your screen as you're looking at it just a little bit. Condition is like new in the box. These are available new for web retail of about $75. Let's do 50 on this one. And 75 if you'd like it with my edge on it. That's the V4538N1 Slicer from Kizer. Next up, more Kizer. This is the V3551N1. I don't know how to say this. Junges. Junges? Junges? I don't know. Interesting little knife. Liners and show side scale have 3 chamfered holes. The clip side, or the, well, yeah, I guess looks like the clip might be ambidextrous. But no figuring on that side. We got a flipper. We got a deeply clipped Bowie blade, an N690, I believe. I wrote N690. It is N690. 3 1/16 blades, 4 1/16 handle. Stainless steel liner lock, locks up well, a little bit deep. I kind of like them that deep. About 50%, maybe 40. Rock solid lockup. Ball bearing action is beautiful. Oh, can you use the studs? You can if you get your fat finger out of the way of the flipper tab, which might take a little practice. It probably flips better than it studs. Definitely. Action's beautiful. Lockup is beautiful. Centering. Beautiful. Like new in the box. Web retail for these, $50. This one, like new in the box, beautiful example, $35 all in, shipped priority mail. $60 with my edge. Next day sharpening is available. That's the Kizer Junges. Next up, kind of a special knife. I says, and this is the this isn't a Purvis box, but it's got the wrong label for the knife that's inside it. Just so you know. The knife isn't a Purvis Primordial Mark III. Kind of a murdered version. So I think we call this marbled carbon fiber. And then a blackened and tumbled titanium handle. The standard clip with this, clip and backspacer, are in the box. And they're blackened titanium. But the backspacer and clip that are installed are beautiful Timascus, which really sets the knife off. Opens via a slot on a ball bearing pivot. Deeply slotted, long slot on a recurve clip point blade in M390. I didn't take measurements. I'm going to say 3 7/16 by about 4.5. That'd be a guess. Doggone it. The blade, sort of a matching tumbled DLC finish to the handle. Steel inserted frame lock, locks up right where you want it to. Ball bearing action's beautiful. Centering is as well. See if I can get it to show up. There it is. We will call it like new in the wrong box. These are out of stock. The new price for these online would have been $320 for the knife, plus whatever the clip and backspacer costs. So I don't know, 50 or 60 bucks maybe. So somewhere in the mid to high 300s, this knife would have been new. For this one, let's do $250 like it is, and $280 if you like it with an ApostleP edge. That is the Primordial Mark III from A. Purvis. Next up, here is an interesting knife. So it's from DCC, and I should have written down the name, dailycarryco.com. And the model of the knife is the Tie Slide in M390 version 2.4. Look at that little package. You'd see that and you'd go, what is it? I don't even know what that is. Well, it is a gravity knife. And man, when that thing is locked up, it's pretty locked up. I mean, there's a slight little bit of rattle, but anyway. The blade is M390, 2 11/16 of good old American Tonto. The handle is 3 15/16 in very finely blasted titanium. No clip. No rattle at all when closed. I would say there's a very, very slight carry wear, and you've got a little bit of wear on the internals where those two pieces come together. But Pretty slick little package. So price on these brand new is $200. I think you buy them direct from dcc.com. This one can be yours. $140 like it is. $175 with my edge on that Tonto blade. The DCC tie slide gravity knife. Next up, this is almost a save me from myself moment. We got one from Vero Engineering. You'll know why in a second. This is an Axon liner lock carbon fiber left-handed. Let's see. Can I middle finger flick this knife? I can. Can I front flip it? Holy moly! I can certainly sweep it. What we got here is an M390 blade. I don't know, it's about 3.5 inches. Why didn't you measure your blades today, Rob? I don't know. Interesting handle material. It's carbon fiber, but it's got an interesting satin finish. It's like you really see the weave and the edges instead of the exposed surfaces. Very interesting. Milled titanium pocket clip. The liner lock is steel inserted titanium. Pretty cool. Lockup is rock solid. Beautiful hand rub satin on that blade, by the way, in M390. I keep reaching for the liner lock the wrong way. Anywho, near mint to like new in pouch. Web retail for this knife is $360. Your price $250 like it is, $280 with an ApostleP edge on the Vero Engineering Axon liner lock Lefty carbon fiber. Next up, got a special one from Spyderco. You can tell it's special because it comes in the cool pouch. So this knife, released by Spyderco after the death of one of their most beloved contributing designers, Frank Centofante, and this knife bears his name. It is the Centofante Memory from Spyderco. And beautiful, and this knife is built very old school. So you can see screw ends coming out of the titanium all the way from the other side. Tip down right hand pocket clip. Silver twill carbon fiber overlay on the show side. Spanner pivot. VG10 blade, 3 1/16 inches in length, 4-inch handle. Titanium liner lock, Teflon bearings. 3 1/16 inches of VG10 blade, 4-inch handle. Now this is a Seiko City produced knife. The titanium locking leaf, no insert, and it does have, as most of these did, just the tiniest little bit of lock slip. A pretty thin blade and a pretty sharply radiused blade tang. So if it locks deep, it kind of locks into the steep part of the radius. It's definitely not going to fail, but it is there just a little bit. Condition is very near mint, in pouch. The action and centering are beautiful on this knife, by the way. Discontinued, not a stock. Found one sold listing on eBay, and it was an auction, right? So bids, and it finished and sold at $243. This knife can be yours at $195, like it is, $220 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Spyderco Centofante Memory. Next up, we got one from Benchmade. No box, but I do have an under clip tag and a microfiber pouch. The knife is the 15080-1 full-size Crooked River in gray and orange. So satin finished gray G10 scales, parkerized split arrow clip that'll be ambidextrous tip up, and then a hard anodized but natural finish set of bolsters And then orange anodized aluminum pivot collars and orange G10 backspacer. This seller has added a lanyard, which I think looks pretty smart on this knife. The blade, S30V. 3 7/8 of beautiful clip point. The handle, 5 5/16, plenty of real estate on a crooked river handle. Axis lock mechanism, action's just fine. Almost a free dropper. Rock solid axis lock lockup, and how's that centering look? What? It's a Benchmade. It can't be that good. It is. These are now discontinued and out of stock. Secondary market prices vary wildly on these. We're going to shoot for sort of the bottom end of the spectrum. Let's do 150 like it is, 175 with an ApostleP edge, and that is the Rob's pick tonight. You 9 o'clockers get to see this one at the same time as all my early birds. How about that? 150 like it is, 175 sharpened. Next up, this is interesting because look at what box we have. So an early teens box, right? But the knife inside is a 940-1. I didn't know these knives were made when that box was still in circulation, but here you go. The 940-1, the carbon fiber clad version of the Osborne. This one's wearing a Parkerized Emerson style clip. You got your blue hard anodized aluminum standoffs and a blade in S90V. Okay. Just so you know, this is not one of the nicest factory blades I've seen. Blade length is spec'd at about 3 7/16. Some a little longer, some a little shorter. This one's about 3 3/8. So, and if you look at the beard at the base of the edge, there's almost none. So it was, I would say, a little over sharpened at the factory. However, lockup is dead rock solid. Action is near free dropping. And the centering on this one doesn't get much better than that. We'll call it near mint in box. Web price of these, map pricing, not full retail. Map prices crept up to $315. This one, let's do 220 like it is, 250 with an ApostleP edge. They don't sell that cheap anymore, guys. That's a 940-1 Osborne from Benchmade. Next up, it's a black class Benchmade. One of my favorite Benchmades I don't own. It's the 417 Fact. And it's just such a cool knife. I don't know why I like it so much. Maybe it's because it's so darn slim. Isn't it though? So it's an axis lock knife. Blackened stainless steel liners. And then beautifully milled hard anodized black aluminum scales, a bespoke deep carry clip that is ambidextrous tip up, and there's an extra one in the box. Interesting that the tab isn't coated on the back. I don't know what that's about. Axis lock, thumb studs, and phosphor bronze washers on a skinny swedged spear point blade in S30V. Blade length is 3 15/16. It's kind of like Benchmade's take on an Almar Eagle. 4 3/4 handle. Really nice in the hand. What an awesome little letter opener that is. Rock solid lockup. Not quite free drop in action, but can you fling it closed? Absolutely. How's the centering? Man, looks pretty doggone perfect. These are now discontinued and out of stock. When they were last available, they had a web retail price of $225. This one, with a spare clip. Near mint to like new in box, 160 like it is, 185 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Benchmade 417 fact. Next up, it's Spyderco time, and it's fixed blade Spyderco time. The knife inside the box is the Moran drop point. Seems like Spyderco might have made this in several configurations over the years, but here's what we got, guys. A beautifully made Kydex sheath with the little G-clip, reconfigurable, nice pop, and here's the knife. That is just classic Bill Moran. Beautiful sort of broad drop point hunting blade, VG10, 3 7/8 inches. Bill's signature. The handle is a molded polymer job with a dual durometer feature, soft side panels, and hard around the edges. It works great. This is the second Bill Moran style handle. We call this one the bird's head handle, which is different than his sort of pistol grip kind of handle. He designed this handle when arthritis started to become a thing for Bill. And man, you can just grab it anywhere and it doesn't care. It's such a great handle. By the way, the handle's 4 7/16. A great truck knife with a little bit of class, I would say. So these are currently available for $130 on Amazon, which is, I think, one of the places I found them in stock. Man, that sheath is great. Let's do $95 on this one. 120 with an Apostle P edge on the Spyderco Moran drop point. Time to turn a page. Next up, I teased you guys heavily about this yesterday. We have one from Spartan Blades, designed by Bill Harsey, but there's more. Knife comes in a Molly compatible, I think, sheath with a bunch of paracord. Man, I've seen French braids that aren't that nice. Okay, snap closure, polymer insert, and a knife. It's the Harsey Hunter from Spartan Blades in tan Sparta coat, scaled and milled, sort of 3D machine and groove milled, OD canvas micarta. S35 VN blade, 5 inches of blade, 5 9/16 inches of handle. I think you can read the etch that says Hunter 0088. This is a limited edition version of the Hunter, number 88 of 500 total produced. Each blade was hand ground by Bill Harsey. And it's I'm going to say a large hollow. And oh, in the hand. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. It's really good, guys. Condition will be near mint, no box. These are very much unobtainium. I could find no price references on this knife. Now there are production versions without the numbering and without the hand grind by Bill Harsey that are less money, but this one $500 like it is. $530 if you like it with my edge on it. Probably not one you should sharpen and use, just saying. Next up, this is really interesting. We have a Jake Hoback knife, and Jake obviously known for large overbuilt folders. The Hoback rolling detent, the Hoback Tonto, right? They're all big knives. So what do we got today? We have the Goliath from Hoback. The COA is included, no box, however. So what's the Goliath? From a guy who makes large overbuilt folders. Well, here's the Goliath. It's neither large nor overbuilt nor a folder. Beautiful Kydex sheath with a pocket clip, by the way. This is the Goliath. It's like a little Tonto Quayback, isn't it? Pretty cool. Blade steel, CPM 20 CV, 3 1/8 to the beginning of that titanium scale. The handle is 3 1/2. Works pretty well. The pinky barely catching the end. Great little knife, man. Nice little tapered fuller or slot. Beautiful blast and tumble. Nice knife. It's like new, no box with COA. These are currently out of stock. When they were available, they were $195 web retail. On this one, let's do $150 like it is. $185 if you'd like me to sharpen that little Tonto blade. The Hoback Goliath. Next up, guys, it's time. It's time for How About the Truth? We have just 2 of his knives left, and my goodness, are they special. Oh, goodness. Oh, my. First, we have, let's show you the certificate of authenticity. We have a Tidiute, model 771214EC, Yankee Jack in antique autumn saw cut bone, made October 27, 2014. It is a prototype, signed card by Christine Tucker. We got a button, 77 Yankee Jack button. We got a card from How About the Truth. The 771214EC Antique Autumn Saw Cut Bone Yankee Jack Prototype Tidiute. To my knowledge, the only prototype. Premier Run 2014. COA plus hat pin. Protos don't get the PPP etch. Single tiny spot stabilized. Right of the nail nick. I will show you that little flea bite that Steve stabilized. Here's the tube. Here's the knife. Oh. I owned this knife in Knife Bright, and I didn't like the Knife Bright, and I sold it. No, dumb idea. Dumb. Okay, 3 11/16 inches closed length, standard jack, gorgeous saw cut bone. I mean gorgeous. Main clip on the near side. There's your flea bite that has been stabilized. The bite is right at the end of my fingernail, and Steve has done a little polish. Don't want to try to resatin that because you don't want to lose that proto etch. There's no PPP, but there is a proto etch. Okay, secondary blade on the back side is a large usable pen. Pull weight, a strong 7. I don't know that I would call it a 7.5. Blades are both absolutely beautifully centered. Condition near mint in tube. Your price, $7.25 like it is, and it should have a Titusville Ironworks tang stamp. Let's make sure it does. Yep, TIW coloring. Oh yeah, so $7.25 like it is, $7.55 I sharpened both blades. That is the 77 Yankee Jack from GEC. And next, our second and last How About the Truth knife. It's a 99 Wall Street. Here's what Steve's card says. 992114 Wall Street, lockback in burnt stag, none serialized but only 30 made, the rarest configuration of the run. This is the pick of the litter. Perfect stag and bank vault lockup in both directions. Here's your tube. And here's the knife. Oh my. Triple lined bolster, chamfered end caps. Look at the match on that stag, guys. Both dimensionally and aesthetically, the Stag is just beautiful. Light action, beautiful spear point blade, 0 side, 0 vertical. 3 3/4 inches of closed length. This is very near mint to like new in the tube. 1 of 30, your price $6.95 like it is. $7.20 with my edge. $7.20 with my edge. The 99 Wall Street in Stag from GE. All right, next up. Wow, what a pack of value this thing is. I'm telling you what. It is a watch from Kronos, right? So, Chinese brand of homage watches. You're going to get a spare elastic, sort of Marine Nationale style strap. You're going to get a screwdriver for the bracelet links. You're going to get a spring bar tool and a Kronos International guarantee. The watch is this. So we'll call it the automatic Pepsi GMT. So I don't know, I guess the handset emulates Tudor. I guess the case does as well. And man, what a fingerprint magnet these high polished slab sides are. Yep, nicely polished. Here we go. The movement is the Seiko NH34 GMT movement. So screw down crown, first position winds. I'm going to move the hands out of the way. Okay. So when you come out to the second position, you have a jump local time hour hand. If you go forward, and then if you go back, you're changing the date. The bezel is ceramic, and the insert is, and it's bidirectional 24 click. Pretty nice feeling bezel. The diameter of the case is 41. That's probably actually the bezel. It might be slightly proud of the case. 50 lug to lug. About 13.5 thick to a boxed sapphire crystal. 22 millimeter lug width. 200 meters of water resistance. The bracelet is all solid links, including the end links. Looks like it might be a fully milled clasp. There is a diver's extension, 3 micro adjusts. No, your eyes are not deceiving you. The plastic is still on the bracelet. I took the plastic off the watch head to make the video. So let's see. These sell for $238 plus shipping on AliExpress. This one, $180, no need to sharpen. The Kronos Automatic Pepsi GMT Diver. Next up, we have one from Concept, the up-level, the Lexus version of Kizer, right? It's the K2038A2 Anomaly, designed by Dirk Pinkerton. A pretty sweet little pocket knife, I would say. Did I say that right? Did I say it's the Anomaly? Okay. So here we go, guys. Looks like a tumbled DLC on the titanium handle. Milled titanium right-hand tip-up pocket clip. Bronze anodized hardware. Black hourglass standoffs. Got a flipper. Beautiful little drop point blade. S35VN tumbled DLC. 3 1/8 inches in length, 4 3/16 handle. Steel inserted frame lock, locks up right where you want it to, about 30%. Rock solid lockup. Ball bearing action is beautiful. Centering is perfection. Near mint to like new in box would be the condition. These are currently out of stock. When they were last available, they had a web retail of $157. Let's go $120 on this one. $145 with an Apostle P edge. That is shipped, priority mail, all in. Next day sharpening available if you like. The Concept Anomaly. Next up, we got one from Benchmade. It did not originally come in this box. This would have been a red class Chinese Benchmade box. Does it say it had an ambush in it at one time? It's not. It's a blue class knife. It is the orange handled 551 Griptilian, wearing a deep carry ambidextrous tip up pocket clip. Satin blade in 154 cm, 3 3/8 blade, 4 5/8 handle, rock solid lockup, free drop in blade. Centering is very close. In fact, I don't know, you might call that perfect. Discontinued, not a stock for so long, I don't know, you can't even find a price listing. You're also going to get a little beater, a little sand-handled mini grip that's got a polished split arrow clip. It looks like you tried to refinish it some different color. It's all gummy and gritty. Guess what? You get this knife. That is 154 cm. That's a 556. You get that free. Okay? Your price for the whole shooting match, $110. Plus 25 each if you'd like me to sharpen. The Benchmade 551 grip orange satin with a free mini grip. Next up, got one from ZT. The knife is a real beast. It is a 562 CF Hinderer slicer in carbon fiber. Here you go. Carbon fiber show-side scale. Stonewashed titanium frame. Deep carry ambidextrous tip-up pocket clip. Some very, very slight corner wear on the clip. Hinderer lock bar stabilizer. Steel insert at the lock face of the titanium lock bar. You will want to keep your fingers off the lock bar when you flip this one. It does tend to death lock a little bit. Blade, CPM 20 CV, 3 5/8 inches long, 4 5/8 handle. Stupendous ergonomics. Ball bearing pivot. Perfect blade centering. So let's see. These are currently available at your favorite web retailer for $292. Not this one. We will call it near mint to like new in box, and you get a free little peanut. I don't even know the brand of this thing. I can't read it. What is it? I don't know. Steel Warrior. Got to be Chinese, right? Got to be. A little two-blade peanut. I don't know what you call those covers. Some kind of acrylic. Anyway, the whole shooting match, $225 shipped priority mail, plus 30 to sharpen this and 30 to sharpen that if you want me to. Okay. The ZT 0562 CF. See, every modern folder needs a companion. Okay, next up. From Kershaw, it's the 1595 G10 Speed Bump. Be careful if you're looking at classic discontinued Kershaws. Here's a good example. So they made this knife in the United States and they made it in China. The US made ones are doing like triple digits, even though it was a $50 knife new. This is the Chinese version. You still get the black G10. You get the tip down right hand clip. Ken Onion design. You'll know that when you see it. Yep. See, there's China. Anywho. The steel is stainless steel. That's all they're telling us. 3 9/16 blade, 4 15/16 handle. The lock is called the stud lock. So the thumb studs are spring loaded. They lock on this shelf, but then when you move the stud forward, you can break the blade down. And it is a speed safe spring assist. Beautiful centering on this one. I think you could thumb it open, but it's really a flipper, a speed safe flipper. So yeah, I don't know that I dig that lock, but anyhow. So they're long out of production, I think. Let's see, 35 bucks like it is, 65 with my edge. The Kershaw Speed Bump in G10. Next up, we have one from Beg Knives. It is the BG005 Mini Glimpse. So this is kind of the latest incarnation of Beg Knives. They went from being beautifully made 4-digit customs to now sub $100 Chinese made versions of their former selves. But this will get you a Todd Begg design for low dollar, right? We got G10 scales. We have a stainless steel right hand tip up clip. We do have a ceramic ball for retention though. We got a ball bearing flipper. Whoops, it's better than that. D2 blade, 3 inches in length. You got the fuller, you got the perforations, you got the hollow ground primary bevel and swedge. Bidirectional satin. Stainless steel liner lock is early but secure. Ball bearings work great. Centering should be dead down the middle. It's like new in box. You can buy these new for 79 bucks at your favorite web retailer, or just buy this one. A perfect example, like new. 55 like it is, 55 like it is, 80 with my edge. The Beg Knives Mini Glimpse. Next up, very interesting knife coming up, guys. It comes in this box. It's not a Colt Legend Continues knife. It is a Spyderco Bob Lum Chinese folder with retip and sharpened by Spyderco. Some clip wear and the centering is off. However, a highly collectible discontinued Spyderco. And this is not just any Lum Chinese folder. This has the Nishijin glass fiber scales, which are something to look at. Beautiful chatoyance. So you've got your Lum Chinese leaf-shaped blade. Let me wipe it because it's VG10, so it fingerprints like nothing else. So it was tipped. It should have like a 3 5/32 inch blade. This one is about 2 7/8, but it has been expertly reground, retipped at the factory. The handle length is 4 1/4. Stainless steel liner lock, locking up right there. The bearings are phosphor bronze. I don't think it's very far off center, by the way. You tell me. Lockup is rock solid. So the condition is near mint, wrong box, but note the retip by the factory. You're going to get this with it. What is that? A classic with scissors? What do you call that? Classic SD? I don't know. That's anyway. Got your toothpick and tweezers. Near mint. Okay, for the whole shooting match, unobtainium, guys. Can't find this knife anywhere. 185 like it is, 210 sharpened. And I don't know if you want me to sharpen this, add another 15. That's the Spyderco Alum Chinese folder. Next up, another one from Spyderco. Great workhorse knife. This is the Spyderco Resilience. Chinese-made Spyderco liner lock, 4-way clip. 4 3/16 inch blade in 8CR13 MOV. Five 3/16 handle. Stainless steel liner lock, locking up robustly and solidly. Blade centering on this one, I think it favors the offside just a bit, so the near side as you're looking at it. Nice action, although it's not a free dropper. Condition will be near mint, no box. These are always available for a current map price of about $73 at your favorite retailer. This one, $45, shipped priority mail, $70 with an ApostleP edge. The Spyderco Resilience. Next up, another family member. This is the Tenacious, the made in China Spyderco liner lock knife. 4-way pocket clip. The blade, 3 3/8 inches of 8CR13 MOV. The handle, 4 3/8. The liner lock is locking up at about 50%. Rock solid. Centering on this one looks right down the middle. It's got a little bit of edge wear at the tip, but still we would say near mint, no box. Currently available online for a price of about $64, brand new. How about let's do $40, shipped priority mail, $65 with an ApostleP edge. The Tenacious from Spyderco. Next up, Spidey's Continue. This is a Delica FFG in gray. Gray FRN Volcano grip handle. Bright hardware, black clip. 4-way positionable. Mid-lock mechanism with the boy dent to prevent unintended release. The blade, full flat ground VG10. 2 7/8 blade, 4 3/16 handle. Rock solid lockup. Average blade freeness, right? Centering pretty much right down the middle. Condition near mint in box. These are currently available at your favorite web retailer for $94. Or just buy this one. All in, shipped priority mail, $70. $95 with my edge. The Delica FFG gray. Next up, a long reach for another Spyderco. This box has no label, but it does belong to this knife. It's a Manix 2 XL black G10 and S30V. We have an ambidextrous tip-up pocket clip. There's a deep carry titanium installed. There is a factory polished in the box. Caged ball bearing lock. Jimping everywhere. Nice action. I see the centering perfect. Lockup is also perfect. A little evidence of carry in the G10, but very little to no edge wear. The blade is S30V, 3 7/8 inches in length. The handle's 5 1/16. We will say near mint, wrong box, like a reproduction box. Currently available, brand new, online for $205 web retail. Your price for this one, $155 like it is, $180 with my edge. The Manix 2 XL with the titanium deep carry clip. Next up, here is a chance to get a bargain, boys. It's from Spyderco. It is a Para 3 FRN or a Para 3 lightweight. Murdered. Black FRN. Tip up ambidextrous deep carry wire clip, also black. The blade, black DLC. CTS BD1N. The lockup is solid. The action is free. The centering is close, but not perfect. I believe it favors the right, or that side just slightly. It's so hard to see. There we go. There you go. Condition like new in box. Current pricing for the pair 3 FRN or pair 3 lightweight is $150 as configured. This one can be yours at $105 like it is, $130 with an TheApostleP edge. So a great buy on a like new in box knife if a little blade centering doesn't bother you. Okay, not a bad buy. Next up, we're going to end with a little twofer from Buck. And the listing will be, the inventory entry will be for this knife, the Buck 345 Vantage Select. So it was kind of the base model Vantage with the really nicely molded FRN scales. You got some nice fluting going through there. You got the old Buck logo with the anvil. The pocket clip is deep carry tip up ambidextrous. It is a phosphor bronze washered flipper, and this one flips great. 3 1/8 inches of 420 HC, 4 7/16 handle. Stainless steel liner lock. I don't know, you might muscle a little side play into that as adjusted. Lockup looks beautiful. Centering looks perfect. Whoops. There. Okay, and with the condition on that will be near mint to like new, no box. But you're going to get with it a model 316 Talus from Buck. Kind of a gunmetal anodized aluminum handle. And then thumb stud deployment, little thing. Frame lock knife. Locks up pretty solid. Right hand tip down clip. So the Vantage Select is now out of stock and discontinued. Kind of going up in value. We're going to do $50. Shipped priority mail plus $25 each to sharpen. And that'll be listed as the Buck 345 Vantage Select, but you get the free Talus with it. That, my friends, brings us to the end of another weekly knife sale on the TheApostleP channel. Hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Now commence to clicking.